What's up, guys? This week's training tip is all about progressing single leg exercises. So today I'm going to talk about knee dominant single leg exercises, things like step ups, split squats, and lunges. I'm not going to talk about single leg deadlifts. I'll save that for another video. Every exercise I talk about, I will include a video at the end of my description, so feel free to skip ahead if you want a visual demonstration of what I'm talking about. So I'm a huge fan of single leg training. Anyone who's worked with me knows that I like to include single leg exercises in all of my programs. Unless someone has a serious injury or restriction, we're always trying to work towards getting strong on one leg. Now, a lot of people don't like single leg exercises because they can be really challenging, and you may not be choosing the appropriate variation for your body type, for your level of skill, and your level of strength. So today I want to talk about the right way to progress these exercises so that you can start off with something that's more manageable and build safely to exercises that are a little tougher. So the two single leg exercises I like to start with are the stationary split squat and step ups. Now, step ups require a little bit of balance. You will be on one leg, but I think they're pretty accessible for most people because you're walking up and down stairs in your daily life. It's something you have experience with, so it's not as challenging to jump into some loaded variations or some higher steps. Split squats I like to do before lunges because when you're doing a lunge, you are stepping into position. With a split squat, you're going to set up your position before you even do a rep, and then you'll be able to move out of that position. So it doesn't require as much balance or as much stability. My very first split squat variation is going to be a bottoms up split squat. You're going to start in half kneeling, and then you're going to stand up into each rep. Then you can progress to standing split squats where you start in the standing position and you move down. So the next step beyond initial split squats and step ups are going to be moving into lunges. So the first lunge variation that I like to use with people is actually a reverse lunge. So a reverse lunge is where you're standing in position and you're going to step backwards and then return to the standing position. I like this because the leg that's doing the work never leaves the ground. So you can make sure that you have a really good position, you're nice and stable on that leg, and you don't have to step into it and figure out where your foot's going and your knee and all of that. It's also a little more knee friendly because your knee isn't going to move as far forward over your toe. So if you're someone that has some cranky knees, this is probably the lunge variation that will feel the best for you. The more advanced single leg variations that I would progress people to beyond this are going to be walking and alternating forward lunges, and then rear foot elevated split squats. So as I already mentioned, any kind of forward lunge is going to be a little bit more challenging because you have to step and land in a stable position. So just make sure that you're keeping your weight in your front heel and you're not shooting into your toes, and you always want to keep your knees in line with your toes. With a walking lunge, you're going to be alternating legs, and you can either step together and reset, or you can step right out of the back position into the next lunge. Anytime you're making the exercise more unstable or you're spending more time on one leg, it's going to be a little bit more challenging. Rear foot elevated split squats are a really fantastic exercise for building strong and muscular legs. They're quite challenging in terms of balance, so I definitely would wait until you've mastered basic split squats and lunges before advancing to rear foot elevated split squats. You can load these up pretty heavy once you get good at them, so if you're someone with a cranky back, it's actually a great way to train your legs instead of barbell squatting. You won't have as much load. You can hold dumbbells or you can hold kettlebells in front of you, and you'll still get a great training effect with that exercise. So if you want to get stronger, you want to build a better looking pair of legs, you want to improve your performance as a runner or in some other sport, you absolutely should be doing single leg training. But definitely think about this progression, think about where you're at in terms of gym experience and strength, and pick an exercise that's appropriately suited for where you're at. If you can master the basic exercises first before trying to do the more advanced ones, they're going to be a lot easier and you're going to get more bang for your buck in terms of training time. Try it out and let me know what you think.
Begin with bottoms up split squats. Start in the half kneeling position. Driving through your front heel, stand up till you're in a tall posture, and then return to the mat. Once you feel confident from a bottoms up position, you can start from the top down. The form is exactly the same. Drive through your front heel as you stand up and keep your knee in line with your toe. Many of my clients start with step ups. Step ups are easily accessible since most of us do them in our daily lives. Don't use a box that's too high to manage. After you've mastered split squats and step ups, you can progress to lunges. I like reverse lunges initially since the foot doing the work never leaves contact with the ground. If you want to progress reverse lunges to something a bit more quad dominant, you can try walking lunges. Lunge forward and then step together at the top. Forward lunges like these are actually the most advanced lunge variation. I would only try these if you've been doing walking lunges and those feel pretty good. Make sure that you don't drive into your knee as you're standing up. Come full circle, my favorite and most challenging single leg exercise is the Bulgarian split squat. You elevate your back foot on the bench. This is quite challenging, but also a great way to train your legs if you can't do barbell squatting.